Today on Top Shop Tours, we're in western Idaho in the gorgeous Palouse Hills and some of the best wheat and barley ground in the world. We traveled here not only to take in the beautiful wheat and barley and lentils and dry peas and garbanzo bean crops that are grown here, but also to tour Al Krick's shop. Let's go talk to Al and see what has worked well in his shop design. So Al, why don't you start out? You built the shop in
2005.
2005, and you went with what size structure?
It's 50 wide by 60 deep.
And sidewalls?
18-foot sidewalls.
You have a single entrance door. You went with a hydro swing?
Hydro swing door, 30 feet wide, and it's 18 feet tall.
Now I noticed you have a little taller poured floor or wall on one side, but that's because this is kind of built into a hillside then.
Right, we built it into the hillside so we could tuck it back so we could have more room out front.
Okay.
And it's still kind of tight out front, but we just wanted to stick it back in the hillside to kind of maximize it and keep it fairly close to the rest of the buildings.
Al created a wealth of storage at a fraction of the cost by adding this Leanto Addition to the side of his shop. Now, in the floor plan itself, it's an fairly open floor plan, but you do have two additions that you'd call them additions. Actually, you built one of them when you put the shop in, and the other one came later.
Correct.
So on the one that came later, that's a lean-to that you added to the, which would be on the east side of the shop?
Okay. Correct.
And that was something where, did you have the stubs, roof stubs coming out, and then you attached to that then?
Right. We actually, we built the shop, and then we actually, before we really finished the whole thing, we added the first phase of that lean-to to it. And then, but yeah, we just got some I-beams and set them on the stem walls, and then supported them out on the far side with, one of them was a stud wall, and the other one were just two square tube beams that we poured footings for and everything.
So you just wanted to have a little extra storage, and also the stuff that you're working on probably down here, stuff out of the shop.
Yep. Just more storage. Seems like you can never have enough storage, and lean-tos were cheap storage.
And then on the other side, that's where you have your office.
Right, we put a lean-to on the other side for an office, and then we store the yard equipment and the lawnmowers and stuff like that in the other side.
Okay. When asked about the best feature in his shop, Al will readily tell you that it's his overhead crane. But one of the features that I really liked about the shop is the trolley hoist. Yes. And that's something you built then. Yeah. This is not, you didn't pick this up in a dilapidated manufacturing plant.
No.
So walk me through all the structure that you have, starting with the way you support that it's supported off the roof trusses.
Correct. My brother-in-law built this shop, and he's in construction, and he had the trusses. He went to the truss manufacturer and told them what I was wanting to do, and they designed the truss specifically for that trolley.
Okay.
To carry the weight of the trolley plus the 2-ton hoist that we were going to put on it. And so they designed that truss, and then we built the framework inside it to bolt the truss out of 2x12s to give it even more support and spread that load out even further. On the truss, they had a 2x6 going vertical on the truss, and we put a 2x12 flat on the bottom piece and another 2x12 on each side of that flat one.
So it kind of created
a U shape.
A U shape.
Yes.
And so you had a 2x6, two 2x12s like this.
2x6 on the truss, and then a 2x12, a 2x12, and a 2x12.
Okay. Then that went up.
Yep. And then we got 1/2-inch bolts that go through the I-beam on the trolley on the north-south rail, goes up inside those 2x12s.
Okay.
And then we put a piece of channel iron on the top that we attached the bolt, so we kind of squeezed it all up together. Yep, clamped it all in there.
What'd you use for the I-beams that were attached to the ceiling?
Those are 4-inch I-beams.
Right.
And then they're, like I said, it's 50 feet long.
Each one is 50 foot long. Right.
And so we had to weld two pieces together to get it to make up the 50 feet, because you can only get them 40 feet long.
Here's a great asset we discovered in Al's shop, a workbench that stretches across the end of a shop, complete with a wealth of storage drawers as well as a steel top. One of the features I noticed about this shop I really like, across one end, you've got cabinets. What, this was a friend or an acquaintance that built it for you?
It's actually our neighbor, and he builds cabinets in the wintertime and does beautiful work. And I asked him if I could hire him to build my shop bench. And so, yeah, there's 26 rows of 4 drawers each row in the shop bench, and we absolutely love it. We're putting, I mean, we got drawers for each implement, each combine, trucks, tractors.
Oh, so you use them for part storage then too, as well as tools.
As well as tools. In fact, probably more part storage, probably equal about part storage and tools. So yeah, and I love it. I mean, granted, it doesn't hold the big stuff, but I mean, we put that in pallets or storage in the other shed, but yeah, I love it. And we had rough cut lumber that we put on, and he planed it down so it was all the exact same. Mm-hmm. So we got a real thick wood top on it.
I was going to ask what you did on the top there.
And then
what is that?
I think it's close to 2-inch thick. Whoa. And then we had custom made rolled steel, and then welded it and ground it, and so it's all, and then anchored it to that wood top, and it's stout. You can hammer on it and do all kinds of things, and it doesn't budge.
The other thing I like too, typically we see the lighting on, and these are probably T5s.
I think they're T8s.
T8 fluorescents, but you also put them on the sidewalls too. Where'd you come up with that idea?
I actually had a friend of mine talk about, like, when you got a combine in here and you got them on the ceiling, when you put the wings out on the combine, it's just a dark hole underneath it. So he said put some on the sidewalls too. Yeah. So it works out well. It lights it up good, and we've got it set up so the one switch is on the low ground or the low lights, and one's on the high lights.
Al has one regret regarding his shop design. He would have preferred to have run the rails on his trolley crane to the end of the shop, which would allow the hoist to be positioned over the workbench. I'll see you again next time on another Top Shop Tour. Hi, I'm Dave Mowitz. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit subscribe right here if you haven't already, and click that little bell right here to be notified when we post a new video. And click here to see more great videos.